February 11th, 2025. Duolingo announced its mascot Duo was dead, hit by a Cybertruck. But this wasn't a crisis, it was brilliant marketing. Within 48 hours, the internet exploded. 40 million daily active users flooded TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. RIP Duo trended globally. One campaign, 2 weeks, 1.7 billion impressions. That's more than any Super Bowl ad, more than any viral moment that year. App downloads spiked 38%. 160,000 user-generated tributes appeared. The community was mourning a cartoon owl. But here's what's wild. Duolingo's team planned this, every single moment. This is how a language app became the internet's favorite meme lord. That honesty paradoxically makes people trust them more. Because they're not pretending, they're being real, and real beats fake every single time in 2025 and moving forward in 2026. Before 2021, Duolingo was just another language app. Serious, educational, you'd download it, do 3 lessons, then forget about it forever. Rosetta Stone did the expensive TV ads. Babbel had decent marketing. Duolingo had a cute mascot nobody cared about, a green owl named Duo. The owl was functional. He reminded you to do lessons. Hey, you missed a day. Come back. That's it. No personality, no story, no meme potential. Then in 2021, something changed. A 23-year-old fresh out of college graduate named Zaria Parvez asked her boss one question that would change everything. Can we post videos on TikTok? That's it. That simple idea. Her boss said yes. And Duolingo's entire marketing philosophy was about to flip completely. Because Zaria understood something that traditional marketers missed. Stop trying to convince people to buy. Start trying to entertain them. Instead of selling language lessons, Duolingo decided to entertain Gen Z with a character. They'd make Duo a personality, a meme waiting to happen. The shift was radical. Stop trying to convince people. Make them want to follow Duo for fun, not for learning language. Duo wasn't going to be a reminder anymore. He was going to be a friend, a chaotic, slightly unhinged, passive-aggressive friend who made you laugh. This wasn't just marketing. It was character development. It was treating a logo like it could become a pop culture icon, and it worked spectacularly. By 2024, Duolingo had 40 million daily active users, 50 million downloads, 500 million registered learners, and most of them followed Duo on TikTok. But downloads and users are just metrics. The real story is what happened to the brand's cultural power, and that's where things get interesting. First principle, Duolingo's social team became obsessed with what their Gen Z users actually cared about. Real meme culture, real viral moments. They didn't rely on focus groups or surveys. They scrolled TikTok. They read comments. They paid attention to what made Gen Z laugh, cringe, and share. One pattern kept appearing. Users loved Duo's aggressive notifications. You haven't practiced in 3 days. Do you hate language? It was menacing yet funny. The guilt trip mechanism was the kernel. Duolingo could have softened it, made reminders friendlier. Instead, they doubled down. Hard. They noticed another thing. Users created elaborate fan fiction about Duo. They drew him. They made memes. They shipped him with celebrity Dua Lipa. Instead of shutting down fan culture, Duolingo weaponized it. They acknowledged the Dua Lipa obsession. They played along. They even sent her gifts. When Dua Lipa tweeted, "Till death do apart," during the death campaign, Duolingo sent her actual matcha powder labeled Duo's Ashes. On brand. Hilarious. By treating the community as co-creators instead of customers, Duolingo flipped the script. Users felt like insiders, like they owned the character. This is crucial. They didn't manipulate the community into creating content. The community wanted to participate because Duo felt like theirs. The brand became a conversation with users, not a corporation talking at users. That distinction is everything. It's the foundation of everything after. When you make your audience feel seen and heard, they become your unpaid marketing department. This is Duolingo's secret competitive moat. They built a community that didn't just like Duolingo. They loved Duo. There's a massive difference between those two things. Second principle, speed. Duolingo's internal culture embraced one radical idea: move faster than competitors, or you lose the moment entirely. When Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber had their public feud in 2023, it dominated social media. Duolingo saw the trend, and within days, they struck. Duolingo created their own parody feud, Duolingo versus Google Translate. Same drama, same energy, but with Duo as the protagonist. It was perfectly timed. While competitors were still asking permission to post, Duolingo had already moved on to the next trend. Speed was their unfair advantage. Their entire organizational structure was built for speed. Brainstorms, approvals, content review, posting. Everything could happen in 6 days max. Traditional brands take weeks from concept to post. Duolingo took days. When you own the moment instead of chasing it, you own the conversation. This speed advantage meant Duolingo could respond to real-time cultural moments while they were still hot, before the meme peaked, before novelty wore off. They noticed a celebrity trend Thursday. By the following Tuesday, they had content live. Most brands still in committee meetings. The algorithm rewards fresh, timely content. Duolingo's speed meant they got algorithmic boost right when engagement was highest. Free distribution. But speed without quality is just noise. Duolingo's content was fast and good. That rare combination created unstoppable momentum. They hired the right people, Gen Z creators who lived on TikTok, who understood meme culture natively, who could move at internet speed. Speed became a brand value, not just an operational advantage. It became part of Duo's personality. Always one step ahead, always surprising, always fresh. Third principle, Duolingo understood something crucial that most brands miss. People don't share things because they like them. They share things because they feel something. Strong emotions drive sharing, not just positive emotions. Shock, discomfort, even mild horror, amusement mixed with menace. That's shareable content. Duolingo didn't aim for nice or corporate friendly. They aimed for I can't stop thinking about this. I have to send it to someone. Duo's aggressive notifications became comedy gold. You haven't practiced in 3 days. Disappointment level, extreme. Guilt wrapped in humor, delivered by a cute owl. The genius part, Duolingo was being honest about the manipulation. Yeah, we're guilt-tripping you, but we're funny about it, and we actually care. Consumers expect marketing manipulation. What they hate is being lied to about the manipulation. Duolingo's self-awareness became their strength. By being self-aware and slightly unhinged, Duolingo transformed a weakness, manipulative notifications, into brand strength and source of affection. They made users feel like they weren't being marketed to. They were being entertained by a friend, a chaotic, emotionally unstable friend who loved them. That emotional honesty created loyalty, not because users had to use the app, because they wanted to keep up with what Duo would do next. Users didn't wake up thinking, I should learn Spanish. They woke up thinking, what is Duo doing on TikTok today? The priorities had completely flipped. This is the invisible architecture of persuasion. Make people care about your character more than your product. Then they'll use the product to see the character. Duolingo gamified language learning, but more importantly, they gamified brand loyalty. They made people emotionally invested in whether Duo lived or died. Every notification became engagement. Every meme became free marketing. Every community interaction became product feedback. The system fed itself. Most brands break this cycle by over-monetizing. Duolingo stayed focused on entertainment first, monetization second. That priority order is everything. Fourth principle, Duolingo didn't create ads for TikTok. They created TikToks that happened to mention Duolingo. Massive difference. This distinction is everything. Most brands post corporate content to TikTok and wonder why it bombs. They're playing checkers in a chess game. Duolingo understood that TikTok's algorithm rewards content that keeps people watching, that makes them tap, that makes them comment and share. They used trending audios. They participated in meme formats. They hopped on challenges, but always with a Duolingo twist that felt earned, never forced. The content never felt corporate. It felt like a chaotic Gen Z brand insider made it, because they actually hired chaotic Gen Z insiders. Duolingo didn't hire social media experts who'd won awards. They hired TikTok users who understood the culture natively and made content they'd actually watch. The difference? Hiring someone who knows TikTok versus hiring someone who is TikTok. Duolingo chose the latter, and that choice showed in every post. They posted consistently, but never repetitively. Same character, completely different concepts, keeping followers curious. What will Duo do next? This consistency plus unpredictability is the psychological hook that kept people watching. They knew they'd love it. They didn't know what it would be. They understood that TikTok favors content with strong cultural fluency, not high production value. A TikTok made on phone with a good idea beats a fancy TV ad. When a brand matches platform culture perfectly, the algorithm doesn't just promote it, it obsesses over it. Duolingo created content the algorithm wanted to spread. This is the fundamental strategy. Be so native to the platform that users and algorithm can't tell the difference between you and organic creators. Fifth principle, Duo wasn't just a mascot. Duo became the company's most valuable intellectual property. Their competitive moat, their unfair advantage. Competitors have logos. Duolingo has a character people genuinely care about. That's the difference between a company and a brand that owns culture. Think about it. People collect Duo merchandise. They get Duo tattoos. They write fan fiction about Duo. That doesn't happen for app logos. Duo appeared in music videos, in Netflix Squid Game crossovers as K-pop idol, in Super Bowl commercials, and anime-style shorts, always expanding the universe. Every appearance strengthened the lore. Every interaction built the mythology. Each video added another layer to who Duo was becoming in the collective imagination. The community started creating elaborate headcanons, Duo's love story, his family history, his relationships, thousands of fan theories about his motivation and desires. Duolingo didn't shut this down. They encouraged it. They even incorporated fan theories into official canon. Duo has a canonical crush on Dua Lipa. When a brand has character this strong, the community becomes your marketing department, for free. That's a 10 times advantage that competitors cannot copy. Duolingo's engineering team didn't invent Duo. Their design team didn't make him a star, the community did. Duolingo just listened and amplified. Duo became a cultural icon. Memes, Halloween costumes, TikTok trends, mainstream media references. The owl became bigger than the app. This is the moat that competitors can't copy. You can't engineer authenticity. You can't buy a 10-year character evolution in 6 months. Rosetta Stone could hire great designers tomorrow. Babbel could hire a marketing team, but neither could create Duo. That ship sailed a decade ago. Character beats product. It always does. Duolingo learned this before competitors realized it mattered. Now the gap is permanent. Because people don't choose apps. They choose characters. They choose worlds. They choose people, or in this case, owls, they want to be around. Sixth principle, Duolingo's social team didn't just post content. They lived on social media, responding in real time to everything. A user tweets, "I'm scared of Duo's aggressive reminders." Duolingo replies within hours, "Good, be afraid." That's not corporate response. That's personality. A meme trend explodes? Within hours, not days or weeks, Duolingo has content live. This real-time responsiveness made them feel different, alive. When Dua Lipa tweeted about Duo's death, Duolingo didn't just retweet. They engaged. They sent her a gift. They were having a conversation. This real-time responsiveness made followers feel genuinely seen. Like the brand was actually listening, actually responding. Different from broadcast brands. Most brands post content and then disappear. Duolingo replied to comments with jokes. They made fun of their users lovingly. They were in the conversation. This created a feedback loop. Followers engaged more because they felt heard. Comments poured in because responses were good. More comments meant algorithmic boost. The algorithm noticed. Engagement drives reach. Real-time responsiveness drove engagement. Responsiveness became a growth engine. Other brands had bigger budgets. Duolingo had better relationships, and relationships were worth more than budgets in the social media age. By treating TikTok and Twitter not as broadcast channels, but as conversation platforms, Duolingo transformed social media into a relationship engine. They made followers feel like they were part of something, a community, an inside joke, a shared universe that kept expanding. That sense of belonging, that's worth more than any follower count. It's the foundation of loyalty that survives competition. In February 2024, something remarkable happened. Duolingo aired a 5-second Super Bowl commercial. Cost $1.2 million. The concept, pure chaos. For context, a 30-second Super Bowl spot costs about $7 million. Duolingo paid 1/5 the cost for 1/6 the time. Economics of virality. The content, Duo's face emerging from his own rear end. The title, Buttception. It was absurd, ridiculous, completely ridiculous, but brilliantly executed. This image, Duo's butt containing Duo's face, had become a viral meme because it appeared in the app widget users saw every day. Duolingo turned inside joke mainstream. But the genius part, they didn't just air the ad, they synchronized push notifications. 4 million learners got notified the exact moment the ad aired. The message, no buts about it, making a butt pun while literally showing Duo's butt. Self-aware, absurd, perfectly executed, completely ridiculous. This was the first coordinated push notification campaign at this scale during national broadcast. Duolingo's engineers built entirely new infrastructure for this. Results, 800 million impressions, most liked brand on Twitter during the entire Super Bowl. Top 3 social moments of the entire game. 25% spike in reactivated learners. Users who'd quit Duolingo came back because they saw the ad and remembered why Duo was funny. They spent $1.2 million on ad placement, but the real spend was minimal because earned media multiplied the value. Organic conversation did the heavy lifting. One 5-second ad generated more conversation than competitors' 30-second spots because Duolingo understood what makes content shareable. Personality plus surprise. They didn't win the Super Bowl with production value. They won with character, with inside jokes, with something that made people say, "Did you see that?" But the Super Bowl was a warm-up. The real masterpiece, February 11th, 2025. Duolingo announced Duo was dead, fully committed, no winking at camera. They didn't tease it, they didn't hint, they went all in. Somber press release, video of Duo hit by a Tesla Cybertruck, Duo ascending to heaven. The internet went insane. Hashtag #RapDuo trended globally. Users created actual tributes, mourned, genuinely mourned a cartoon owl character. The psychological hook. Duolingo had spent 4 years building emotional investment in Duo. Now they were threatening to take that away. But then came the twist. Duolingo announced Duo could be resurrected. On one condition, the user base had to earn 50 billion XP together in 2 weeks. 50 billion XP. That's an enormous number. That required every user to participate, to complete lessons, to engage with the core product at scale. Duolingo had turned a marketing campaign into a product engagement campaign. Users literally opened the app, completed lessons to bring Duo back to life. This was brilliant. The character death made product engagement emotionally meaningful. Users weren't just learning Spanish, they were saving Duo. Every lesson completed mattered. Every XP earned counted toward resurrection. The app became a ritual, a collective mission, a purpose beyond just education. The community started posting progress. We've earned 5 billion XP. Updates, momentum, countdown, anticipation building. Duolingo was orchestrating a narrative arc. Then, in the final days, it became clear users would hit the goal. Duolingo knew they would, because they'd designed the goal to be achievable but challenging. Exactly 14 days later, Duo resurrected. New icon, eyes blazing with light. A hype music video set to Playboy Carti. The resurrection was triumphant. The community had accomplished something. They'd literally brought their favorite character back to life. Collective action, collective power, collective investment. 1.7 billion impressions in 2 weeks, a new record for Duolingo. 160,000 user-generated content pieces, 25 times typical response. 38% spike in app downloads globally. 100,000 new Instagram followers in a single day. Just the announcement, just the idea of Duo's death. This wasn't a marketing campaign. This was a narrative event. It was a chapter in an ongoing story. It was the internet's favorite soap opera. Dua Lipa tweeted, "Till death do part." The actual Dua Lipa, the person Duo was obsessed with, playing along with the campaign, co-starring in the narrative. Duolingo sent her a gift basket with Duo's ashes, matcha powder, and a note. Duolingo was having a conversation with a global celebrity through their mascot. The campaign proved something crucial. People care more about character narrative than they do about product features. Way more. Because we don't download apps. We follow characters. We watch shows. We join communities. We want to be part of stories. Duolingo understood this completely. Here's what Duolingo understood that competitors didn't. Marketing isn't about convincing people to buy. It's about creating a character people want to know. They turned a language app into a universe. Duo isn't a reminder. He's a character with personality, relationships, lore, memes, emotional stakes, history. Characters are memorable. Characters are shareable. Characters are loved. Reminders are deleted the moment they become annoying. Duolingo chose the character path. This is why Duolingo has 40 million daily active users. Not because their product is technically superior to Rosetta Stone, because Duo is phenomenal. They obsessed over user behavior. They moved fast. They understood emotion. They created character. They engaged community. Then they watched the system compound. This is the invisible architecture of persuasion. Make people care about your character more than your product. Then they'll use the product to see the character. The system reinforces itself. Character attracts users. Users generate content. Content increases reach. Reach attracts new users. New users generate more content. Duolingo turned marketing into storytelling. They converted product features into narrative elements. They made language learning a chapter in Duo's ongoing story. But here's something important to acknowledge. Is Duolingo really that clever? Or did they just get lucky with a relatable character? Some critics argue Duolingo's unhinged marketing is calculated psychological manipulation, guilt trips, aggressive notifications, fear-based engagement mechanics. They're right. Duolingo absolutely uses psychological manipulation. The guilt trip notifications, intentional. The fear-based engagement, deliberate. The character obsession, calculated. But here's the critical part. Duolingo was transparent about it. They didn't hide the manipulation. They leaned into it, made it part of the joke. In a world of fake corporate sincerity and hidden psychological tricks, sometimes authentic manipulation feels refreshing. Yeah, we're addicting you, but it's funny. That's the invisible architecture. It's not that Duolingo's cleverer than competitors. It's that they're clever and honest. That rare combination. Most brands either hide their manipulation or bore you with transparency. Duolingo does both. Admits what they're doing while making it entertaining. They don't pretend the notifications are a friendly reminder. They admit, hey, we're guilt-tripping you to maintain your streak, and it's working because you're watching this. That honesty, paradoxically, makes people trust them more. Because they're not pretending, they're being real. And real beats fake every single time in 2025 and moving forward in 2026. So what can every brand learn from Duolingo's playbook? First, speed kills. Your fastest response beats everyone's perfect response every single time. You can't out-polish competitors. You can out-move them. Be the brand that owns moments instead of chasing them. Duolingo posts in days. Competitors post in weeks. Second, character beats product. Every single time. Build something your audience loves as a person, not just as a feature. Make them care about your owl. Third, authenticity crushes perfection. Your content doesn't need million-dollar production. It needs personality. It needs a human feel. Realness wins. Fourth, use your platform as conversation, not broadcast. Reply to comments. Engage with mentions. Make followers feel heard. That relationship becomes your moat. Duolingo proved that the future of marketing is characters, communities, and unhinged authenticity, not features, not benefits, personality and story. If you want to build a brand people actually care about, stop selling features. Start building mythology. Subscribe for more case studies revealing how brands break all the rules and win.